Well, it's evening, guys, so I will say good evening, though it could be any time out there in the world while I'm doing this particular video. But as you can see, little Archie is looking like wanting to come on out, and it's getting late. Lily hasn't been out today. Very unusual. He is going to explore and check things out, being the curious little boy that I know he is, and of course the easygoing little boy that Archie is. I mean, he's just been one. Look at that tiny, fragile little tail that he has. They are very fragile. The rough scales, you don't go trying to unwind that from your finger or anything. You let them do that all by themselves. But anyway, he's in there. He's got 31 floor heat. They like it warm, these guys. 31 basking heat. Of course, I'll watch him and I'll see how he goes and, tweak it as we do. I'm just going by what pretty much he had in his tub, of course. And I'll just give you, I've got Amaya's been very active at the moment. Lily, she's over there on a heat. But I better get over here because I know Archie. No hesitation in coming out for a visit. Is there ever? Blurring the camera, dude. You're so blurring. Hey, maybe. My goodness, I can't even get my words out at the moment. Have we got some sort of focus going on? I don't think we do, dude. Hey? You going to come out? Or he says, I so do not have a problem in coming out with you, Mum. And I will get down over here, like you see, now that the light is pretty much on him. No issue with focus at all. Is there? Except for your head, because that moves a real lot. I'm going to turn around, hopefully. Not going to see very much. And I'm not one for clicking off the camera between scenes, and you're not really going to see much of me at all, but you'll see little Archie. But I wanted to bring up, well, there you go, you can see a little bit of me now. But I wanted to bring up, I get asked, do snakes fight with each other? And honestly, I really hate the fact that I've chopped my head off to you guys, but I really want you to get a good view of Archie. But basically, no, snakes do not fight with each other. Let's swing that light round for you, just so we brighten it up just a little bit more and we don't annoy Amaya so much, even though it's still bright there for her. Well, so I guess I can answer that fairly quickly for you and say, no, snakes, they don't fight with one another. Basically, our males might, in terms of, here I am chopping my head off, but and that's generally over the breeding season, and that's because they're competing for the females out there over the breeding season, and the males want to be, you know, those big guys. I'm the biggest and I'm the best and I've got the stronger genetics and all the rest of it. I you know, figure that's what's going on. But even when males, and I'm talking about, you know, carpet pythons, you know, they don't hurt each other. They kind of use the upper part of their body, meaning this part of their body, to up and periscope over the top of each other and pretty much bang each other down to the ground until one gets tired and worn out and decides, I've had enough. The female's all yours. And hopefully the female has stuck around and hasn't got bored with the guys fighting, you could say. So, you know, can we keep snakes together in the same enclosure? You know, I put that down, and I have spoken briefly about it. Well, maybe I've spoken about it much longer than briefly. You know, I would really want you to be very experienced and, you know when it's not working out between, you know, your male and your female. You know, I do know it's not really common practice. You can certainly have males in together if they're not mature, of course, but all in all, you know, they do recommend that you don't house them together. There's that question of, how do you know if the male and female, you know, breeding season, you're going to pair them up? What do you look for? Will the female or the male hurt the female, or vice versa? No, that doesn't happen. Pretty much the female may get as far away from the male as she can, and vice versa. The female may continually stiffen and try and get the male off her by, you know, sometimes, I don't know if you've ever seen a snake bucking its body, but, you know, pretty much just, yeah, going like that and saying, off, get off, I'm, you know, I don't want you around me. But they certainly wouldn't harm each other. Would you? And when it's mating season, more often than not, and they're ready to mate, they're really quite open to having each other around each other. So, yeah. No, they don't fight. I've had my snakes around each other many times out in this room. Males and male, female, female, male and female. And I'm sorry that you haven't been seeing my head, but yeah, I have never seen any problems. If anything, what I've actually seen is them just move away from one another. You know, one finds their spot and the other one finds their spot, and they just hang out wherever they want to. Of course, over breeding season, the male might find the female, and if it suits the female, she'll just stay there. If it doesn't, she'll move away and find her own little place as well. See your little face, dude. Hey, could we see your little face today? I have never seen any behaviour to tell me that any of my snakes would fight each other. I don't believe that they would. I was going to get Oscar out and put Oscar here with Archie so you could just see two males, for example, but they're only little ones, so they're not interested in that side of life as little ones. So, you know, I guess to some degree, though Archie is younger than Oscar, and Oscar is a coastal carpet, and of course you know Archie isn't, the size difference in them, and Oscar is a lot older, really, than what Archie is. But you know, Archie is going to get to a decent size as an adult. Rough scales can run to around the 6 foot, probably more so within the female than your males, but he will still get quite a nice size. So buddy, you wouldn't fight or hurt anybody, would you? Not at all. I mean, I guess where I would be a little bit more concerned is that snakes that are a little bit more sensitive to something touching them on the back, you know, and are still a little bit nervous, you know, but then I also believe they know it's another snake and it's not something that is strange to them at all either. And so, you know, not getting Oscar out is the fact that I'm pretty much here on my own, and even though Archie's quite willing to just chill there, I know that Oscar would be all over the place and wanting to explore, because that's Oscar's personality. Archie warms up to that eventually, but he just tends to kind of just hang out and check everything out at this point, because he really is still just a baby and he's still very much learning, and as chilled and as easygoing as what Archie is for a baby, which I'm personally very glad about. I'm just trying to bring him around so he's in focus a bit, because he's not in focus. The back end of he's in focus, but not your head. Oh, there you go. I just cannot believe how beautiful these guys are. Like, you know, being my all-time favorite to have in my life, and I just love him. He is, I mean, I love all my snakes, and you know I love all of my snakes. Archie is just incredible. Yeah, those eyes are killers, actually, in a nice way. We can say it. Can we see your beautiful eyes, dude? Without this camera, you know, going too out of focus. What do you think? I can see you now. I can see you now. Yes, I can. Climbers, He just loves to climb. The moment I get him, he's periscoping and he's trying to get as high as he possibly can. It amazes me, so little, and yet he just wants to. He periscopes incredibly well for a little guy. And I'm really looking forward to Archie getting older, so I can take him outside so he can cruise around and do what my bigger snakes do. You know, he's just still that little bit too young to be able to do that. That doesn't mean I can't take Oscar out and put him on the blanket with me. He can certainly do that. You're being kind of a bit boring today, dude. Or you're just feeling like chilling out. He slowly comes up over that leaf. Hey? So guys, there you go. Fight? Not really. Not in the sense that I think one sees that word, fight. Combative behaviour over a female? Absolutely. So from me, an out-of-focused head little I'm thinking about Oscar now. Archie, we will say, do you know what we say, Archie? Do you know what we say? Can you see yourself? Can you see yourself in there? You're going to climb up? No? You can. All the other little ones do it. So you're welcome to do it. No? What do you think? You're just going to climb on my hand? Going to climb on my hand? No, he says, I like my little baby jungle gym for now. Anyway, take care of yourself, your family, your friends, your snakes, and all your animals. Ciao.